everybody, Russ with Intera Real Estate, and today instead of doing a tip, I actually wanted to introduce you to Julianne. Julianne is the executive assistant on Team Russ, and we've now been working together for how long?
Almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. When you're having fun, time flies, definitely. And the reason why I wanted to introduce Julianne is because you guys, if you're a buyer or if you're a seller and we've worked together, if you've had the pleasure to work with Julianne, you know how great and effective she is and how much value there is when you have someone working on the backbone of the transaction, taking the escrow from one step to another. If you have not met Julianne, and I hope you do have the pleasure of working with our team so that you could really feel the whole effect of a good team and how things just move from one step to another flawlessly. And today I wanted to introduce Julianne first of all, and second of all, I wanted to go through the checklists that we've created for both buyers and sellers because everything is structured in real estate. There's 33 different people from 13 different industries involved in a single real estate transaction. So you have to have a checklist because it is a very structured process. And Julianne is here in the office every day, makes sure that our clients are taken care of and that things are going smoothly, and we foresee any bump beforehand versus trying to deal with it as it comes at us. And checklists allow us to do that. So let's start with a seller's checklist. And so as you can see, lots of check boxes on.
Backside too.
There's a backside that I didn't know about. Obviously, that's how good Julianne is. She doesn't try to make my life difficult. But this is, and we continuously add on check boxes to the list. We're probably once every 3 or 4 months. This is a really polished checklist at this time, but every 3 or 4 months we would add on a checkbox because something has come up,
right?
or something that maybe not something that comes up often, but we do want to have a checkbox for that just to anticipate it, just in case it comes on. It comes at us at a later time. So obviously I go out and I meet the client, and I'm always excited to meet sellers that are selling their home, and there's so many different reasons sellers sell their home, and I'm excited to be part of that process. And we sit down and I outline the marketing steps and I outline the escrow process, the seller's escrow. But by the way, that's another flow chart that we have for sellers right over here, which I would sit down with you and I would outline every single step of the marketing process and of the escrow process that I would be helping you with. And we sign a listing agreement and we decide on the price, and you are happy and confident that I can sell your home. And then I bring that paperwork back to the office. And this is where I really pass the ball to Julianne, and then she takes it from here. And the reason why I do that is because I want to always be physically available to you, for inspections, or to meet the appraiser, or to do open houses, or to meet buyers or other interested agents that may have buyers for your property. I don't want to be in the office and dealing with paperwork, which is a very, very important part of the process. So I bring the listing agreement back, and what happens after that, Julianne?
After that, the most important step comes up, and that's going to be filling out the disclosures for the property. That's kind of the rest of the paperwork after you sign that initial listing agreement and everything with Russ. And those things, that's a lot of paperwork that we prepare for you, and then Russ or I can walk you through line by line to get all that filled out to make sure that you're disclosing everything that you need to the buyer. And then the other really important thing that happens next is all the home prep. So if there's any fixes that need to be done to the house, maybe you need a fresh coat of paint or some minor remodeling or something like that, then we can help coordinate with contractors, painters. We also get inspectors in to make sure you have a home and termite inspection done on the property before we go on the market, potentially staging and lots of other things to get the home market ready, putting the sign up in the front yard, getting professional photography done. It's really a lot of prepping actually the home.
So are you telling me that I can't just pull out my iPhone and take a couple of photos of the living room and the kitchen and put it on the MLS? We have to do all that prep?
Unfortunately, yes, but that will get you the highest possible price, and that's what Team Russ is here to do.
Unbelievable, unbelievable.
But the good news is we take care of all that kind of headache for you, or I do anyway, back here in the office.
Yes, so there's a lot of prep work that goes into selling a home. Even if your home is already remodeled, there's a lot that goes into getting your home ready. So now that the home is ready and we've taken professional photography and we've created marketing materials and placed the home on MLS and created a fantastic marketing online, what is your role after that? Obviously the next step is offers are going to start trickling in, right? So what do you do with those offers?
The offers, I always review ahead of time along with Russ, and we kind of compile all the offers and make sure that we see all the terms of them and have that ready for you in a digestible spreadsheet so that you're able to kind of read through the offers and understand what each person is offering. I also help correspond back with those other agents and make sure that they receive all those disclosures that you work so hard to fill out.
So in today's market, obviously, a home, if marketed properly and if presented properly, will get multiple offers. And in the case of working with Team Russ, you will be getting multiple offers on your property in Silicon Valley. So it's important, like Julianne said, to have the offers, when I review the offers with you, that they're in a digestible format, very nicely laid out on the spreadsheet where you can see the prices that every buyer is offering, the terms of the offer, the down payments, etc., etc., etc. Once we go into escrow, what do we do from there?
From there, I work very closely with our transaction coordination team and also with the escrow to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed and that all the paperwork is kind of in line. Then I also work closely with the lender to make sure that all the funds from the buyer come in and that we're ready for closing.
And the closing is the exciting part, right? Because from the beginning of when we sign the listing to close of escrow, how long can it take?
It can take anywhere from a few days to a few months.
Yes,
we've seen longer ones.
A few days is when all cash comes in and you sell, and but also we've had processes that took 3 months, from prep to getting it on the market to getting a contract, etc. So that in a nutshell really just encompasses the whole process for the sellers. Now let's switch to buyers. So after the initial consultation with buyers, so now that they're pre-approved and we're ready to start shopping, what is it that you help out on the back end?
I help out a lot with coordinating viewing appointments to see all the different properties and getting that scheduled so there's time that you and Russ can go check out the property. And then from there, when you're ready to make an offer on a property, and usually we have the winning offer, then I kind of take over again on the transaction coordination side and making sure that all those back-end paperwork gets done.
Yeah. And as a buyer, so now you're in as a buyer, now you're reviewing all those sellers' disclosures that we outlined in the seller's process that, as a listing agent, I sit down and I fill out with the sellers. So as a buyer, you would be reviewing inspections, you would be reviewing sellers' disclosures, you would be, again, crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's, and working very close with your lender, right? So timeline is going to be very, very important to follow because that's one of the biggest reasons a lot of times that escrows don't work out. The lender doesn't deliver, or the escrow doesn't deliver, or there's a surprise in the disclosures. So we want to kind of just cross all those things right out the bat so we don't get any surprises, your escrow closes on time, and your deposit is not in jeopardy. So we've covered a lot. So I guess in a nutshell, I'm glad that I was able to introduce Julianne because when you meet me, you're not just working with me, you're working with a team of people. So myself, Julianne, the transaction coordinators, inspectors, lenders, escrow people. So there's a lot of people involved. I'm kind of the face of the process, but there's also a lot of people involved, and I want to make sure that they get credit for what they do. And thank you so much, Jules, for being such a great part of the team and and following these long checklists that
That's what I'm here for, checking all the boxes, front and back.
If you have any questions, whether you're a buyer or a seller, don't hesitate to call or email us. Our information in this corner below, and we're glad to respond to your questions and help you with whatever process you're in, whether you're a buyer or a seller. Thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you next week for the tip of the week, and have a great rest of your day. Bye now.